What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to do Action Comics issue 584 by DC Comics, made by John Byrne and Dick Giordano. Cool cover, I like it, but you know, the focus goes to this, well, not really, the focus is here, but we also see this crippled guy here, which almost spoils what's going to happen. So we see this news reporter in, well, I believe Metropolis, doing some kind of an interview, and then we see that Superman is trashing buildings, and he has some kind of an evil smile on his face. So all the debris is falling down, and luckily, Cyborg was in the crowd with his Teen Titans hat on, so he rips off his clothes. Not sure how this works, but okay, we go with it. Maybe he just, you know, expands his muscles or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, it looks cool. So he uses, well, he clicks off his hand and puts on his disruptor using this, I'm not sure how you call it, but hand grappler or whatever, doing some kind of a Batman move, and, you know, disintegrates the debris so that people are safe. So he climbs on top of the building, and then he sees that Superman is, I don't know, calling him drunk with power, and he's shouting at nobody, and he says, look at them scatter, the ants, the pitiful, worthless little creatures. And they talk about the power is him. But, so Cyborg here thinks that, you know, he's drunk on his own power. He's not even noticing me, he says, unless I can catch his attention. So he throws this piece of metal in his back. Superman turns around and is very annoyed. And he says, who dares to attack me? Superman, it's me, Cyborg. Don't you know me? Take it easy, man. I'm here to help you. Well, you just threw a piece of metal in his back. If that happens to me, I would be pretty annoyed too, Cyborg. So, yeah, Superman rips it in half, flies towards him, but he's, you know, he's talking differently, right? And, see, what is this with this guy? I only met him a couple of times, but he doesn't sound, and then he's just getting trashed into the building, and Superman chops off his cyborg hand or arm, and he says, you stupid freak, did you really think your weak mechanical body could stand up against Superman's? And so Cyborg says it doesn't really hurt, but it can do massive damage to his body, overloading his cybernetic systems. He says, back, Cyborg. Beg for mercy, beg for the easy death that I shall not grant you. And so he's toying around with him. And Superman says, can you feel it, Cyborg? Can you feel your life slipping away? Feeling how helpless and trapped you are inside a body that grows steadily weaker. That grows more and more useless with each passing moment. So, yeah, he's a little bit groggy, so I only think he can, you know, get out of the situation. He's shooting him with a laser beam that comes out of his fingers, I guess. And Superman is, you know, blinded, and he's also offended. Animal, he says, I kill you, kill you. This is it, Tin Man. Say goodbye to everything. So, but then he saves himself by, I don't know, attaching his hand to the building so it slows down his fall. Anyway, so he needs help, so he's going to call his fellow Titans. So he goes to a telephone booth. They still have telephone booths back in the 90s. So, so this is the Titan headquarters, or Titan Tower, I believe. So Garth picks up the phone, but he makes jokes, and then Wonder Girl comes in with this still classic costume. I really like this costume. It's classic. It's just cool. And so she gets Vic on the phone, you know, Cyborg. And he says, Vic, is that really you? We're on our way. Come on, Changeling. It's red alert. It's super red alert. Bzzz, question mark? So, yeah, they come here. Well, Superman is trashing the city. Garth changes into an elephant because he can change into different animals. That's his power. But, you know, Superman, Kryptonian and all, he's just way too strong. And he says, well, this is way too easy. He doesn't want to fight children and all that stuff. And then he hears the voice behind him. I may still kind of call myself a girl. But I think you'll agree I'm something considerably more than a child. After all, there are few children who can do this. So it looks cool. I mean, this like classic action. I love that. I also like, it was in older Superman comics when if he's been thrown into a wall or into a building or into the ground. There's also, that has that silhouette when he comes out of it, that he's been thrown into that particular ground building rock. There's some silhouette when he... Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Oh, and also we have this... you can win a prize of this contest. Still leave it in there. Why not? It's pretty cool. Anyway, so Superman, found this water tubes, maybe from a fire extinguisher hose thingy. I'm not sure how it's called. But yeah, she's blasting him, but he makes also some sexist remark. Well, is it sexist? Not really. I mean, he says, "You never learn, you inferior creatures." So yeah, that's not really sexist. I take that back. Inferior? Well, excuse me, friends, but nowadays us liberated ladies don't talk much, don't take much to being called inferior by a man. I can make some remarks here, but I'm not going to do that. Not even a Superman. So let's see if we can tie this up fast now, shall we? So she ties it up with this. This is not Wonder Woman's lasso, by the way. I'm not sure what it's called and what its powers is. But yeah. Meanwhile, we go back to, well, not go back. We go to, I don't know. What is this? A school for hearing impaired. So Jericho is here teaching these kids, having fun with them. So who's Jericho? Jericho is not only a part of the Teen Titans, but he is also the son of Deathstroke. And he cannot talk because Deathstroke slit his throat. He can only do sign language, and he has some unusual cool power. So yeah, Cyborg just comes in here on the street, and he says, I can get anything function at maximum capacity. If only I had my new Promethean body, this might not have happened. But no use crying over spilt milk. I love these old school slang that I've never heard of. Well, spilt milk I have heard of, but not, in this context. Anyway, so, yeah, Superman breaks these lasso of Wonder Girls, and Superman just says, "Kill him. Enough, foolish girl. How easy it would be to snuff out your life now. But perhaps I won't kill you. Not just yet, at least. You're very beautiful, Wonder Girl. There are other things we can do before you die. We can learn if a beautiful woman can suffer. Suffer as I have suffered, scoffed at by all the world's beautiful women." Right, dude. So Cyber comes in, and he's bumping into Superman, and the insult is great here. So he says, "Miserable, interfering swine. Don't you have even enough sense to stay out of the way? You escaped once with your life, half man." There's a lot of, how do you say, what's the word I'm looking for? Insinuate, is that it? I'm not sure what the word is, but it refers to people that are not functioning very well, and I'm going to show you why. But it's a little bit on the nose, but if you look into it, then yeah, you figure it out. Anyway, so Cyber rolls out away, but then Superman gets punched. I don't know, has a fruit in his face, and yeah, Jericho is here, and but Superman arrests Jericho. So Jericho does this. So he enters his body, but since Superman has Kryptonian physiology or whatever, he cannot stay in there too long, but he cannot move. So Wonder Girl says, "Rage all you like, Superman, you're stuck." Jericho's power, along with him, allows him to assume control of the motor reflexes of other living beings. You can still think and talk, but your muscles are under his direct control. So he can do nothing, but then they don't know what to do with Superman because no prison can hold Superman. And but then this guy comes, who looks a little bit like Bruce Banner, and he says, You won't need either, Titans. It will be easy enough to imprison the man responsible for all this destruction. You see, the man responsible is not Superman because he's not Superman. I am Superman. All right. So, okay. So they are flying, but, you know, Superman is a little bit uneasy because normally he's the one doing flying instead of being carried away. And so it seems that this amateur scientist guy called Clark Kent, and he has some kind of a invention that he wants to show Superman. Also, Superman, he needs Superman's help with that because it can do wonders for the environment and all that stuff. Some free, clean energy. So Superman, you know, gullible as he is sometimes, goes in, and then they did a switcheroo. So yeah, so this crippled guy has evil intentions. So, and he says, you can stay here in the storeroom for now, David. This is a throwback to David Bruce Banner. I'm just guessing. So David is its name because it's, what's his name? David Gunderson. Okay. And so basically he says, you can stay here. I'm not going to kill you because he doesn't know what the switcheroo is going to do in the long run. And so yeah, they come to this apparatus. But, you know, before... So David, Superman, says that, well, it's before I get out of this room, because he lockpicked it, because that's, you know, he's being a detective. Well, it's not a detective, because he's a reporter, and also Superman, he picked up a trickster along the way. Doing the switcheroo, and now David is back in his crippled, useless body, trapped again in a world that scorns me, that forces me into obscurity. Don't be so quick to blame the worlds for your problems, Gunderson. True. The fates dealt you a rotten hand. I'll never forget how it feels to be inside a body that doesn't do what you wanted. But it's not your body that makes you a cripple, Gunderson. So Superman talks about, you know, people in the past that did great things, you know, that are crippled. He talks about Jericho, you know, he cannot talk. He talks about Franklin Roosevelt. He became the president while he's confined in a wheelchair. You know, it's all about Helen Keller, become of the greatest artists this world has ever known, etc., etc. You took my powers and became nothing more than a common hoodlum. No, it's not your body that cripples you, Gunderson. It's your mind. And that, yeah, that's it. So we see Lex reading the newspaper. Superman exonerated. Hero victim of mind switch. Titus in good health, says Doctor. Jericho declared. Hero of hour. So overall, is this good? Well, it's a good snack between meals, I believe. This is fun. It's not all too complicated. It's not, I mean, the art is great. It could be a little bit more exciting, maybe a longer story, you know, doing Superman more rampage, and then the rest of the Titans comes in too, you know, with Firestar and Robin, and who's not, is it Robin or is it Nightwing? Probably Nightwing, you know, and others to battle Superman. But, you know, it's nice to see the Titans again in this comic at all. So, yeah, a nice snack, nothing special, good enough. Guys, let me know what you think about it. See you next time. Bye-bye.